What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. This is the show where I hang out with my good buddy Mike at the end of a long week, probably after we should have gone to bed on a Saturday night, and paint some of the ridiculous backlog of minis that we have to work on, because Lord knows both of us keep foolishly buying more minis, and there's an old adage that says if we ever run out of miniatures to paint, we will die. So we're just trying to avoid that awful fate. Mike, how's it going tonight?
It is going great.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Sorry? I missed the second half of that.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm looking forward to getting some work done tonight.
Yeah, me too. It always feels good to hang out and chit-chat and work through this backlog. As with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, what say we paint some minis? Tonight, I am working on... Oh my god, my camera zoomed out. There we go. I'm working on Hazmat Thugs. They're going to end up looking like Advanced Idea Mechanics scientists, AIM scientists, because they're going to be ridiculous yellow. And Broody, what do you got?
I have a Harley Quinn model from Batman 3rd Edition.
Nice. That's the night models?
What?
That's
night models, yes.
Nice. Fantastic.
It's one of their more scenic type bases that they added for a lot of their named characters.
Oh, wow.
So
oh, that's cool.
Like a little robot clown and neon lights and all that fun stuff.
Oh, Captain Kirk, you are in for a good time, my friend. You want to... okay. Okay, may I suggest the Court of Blood. Trust me. Oh, you're already 3 turns in. Okay. Well, good luck. Have fun. Thank you for hanging out with us. Oh, I had something to show you. Hold on. I have a thing. I'm gonna move the green screen around, so bear with me. Got it. Okay, so because you asked about it a couple of weeks ago, Kirk, I wanted to show you. This is the tool that I use. I actually use it more for the model kits that I've been working on lately. But this is the mold line remover tool that Citadel makes. You'll notice it's curved so that it contours to most things, Obviously, you can use a different part of the curve to remove mold lines on a different part. I'm going to try and dig through my bits box and find something that I can find something with a good mold line that I can use it on here.
That is a very interesting tool.
Yeah, it's super cool. I brought it upstairs because I was working on Nervosh the other day, and it's proved immensely useful. So where is something with a mold line? These are all super old bits. Here we go. All right, so basically what happens is, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up as well as I want it to. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further here. Yeah. So the mold line is here, and then you just kind of run the blade against the edge of it, and it comes right off. And it is absolutely... Oh, I'm off camera again.
Yeah.
It's super, super nice. It's I consider this an indispensable tool at this point. Yeah, so I'm still doing it. It's just super, super valuable. Makes things so much cleaner, especially for priming. Actually, you know what? I actually have the Nervosh kit next to me. I could probably look in there for something with mold lines that would actually be a little bit more useful, potentially. No, that doesn't have it. I think that's the only extra part that I got. Come on, give me something. Nothing. All right, well, but yeah, you saw how it works. That's more or less it. And yeah, this tool is super valuable. I would be totally lost without it at this point. In my modeling career. Strongly recommend. Not very expensive, something like $10 to $15. I'm sorry, $18. Happen to have a price tag on it. So yeah, so there you go. I promised that a while ago, and now you have it. Anywho, Hazmat Boys. We're going to start out with a big old base coat of Averland Sunset. You patching up the primer, Broody?
What?
You patching up the primer?
No. I had to pull up a reference image.
Oh, no, I meant what are you doing with the black? Or is that black?
Yeah, she has the quadrants, the black and red.
Oh, of course. That makes sense.
So yeah, I am laying down the black right now. I had to I pulled up the reference photo to make sure that I have the right quadrants painted the right colors.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So before we went live, I talked to Broody about holding off on Harley Quinn and doing a Harley off sometime later, and we agreed that the Gotham City Chronicles Harley is wildly different than the Night Models one. It would be kind of like comparing apples to oranges. The sculpt from Night Models is, in general, way better. So it just wouldn't make much sense. Oh God, I forgot to zoom back out. That's too far. There we go. Okay, everything's fine. I'm bad at directing streams. No Prison Breaks yet, huh? No Wentworth Miller yet.
Yuck. Prison Break is such a bad card.
It's a real bad card. It's a bad time. Like, the last time I fought the chairman, I downed him in like 2 rounds. It was absurd. I used I used Mainstay. Sorry, in order. I should do the Stuntman, Legacy, Raw, Mainstay, and the Harpy. And that team is, oh my god, they are so gas.
Yeah, Chairman is definitely one of those that I do not regularly come back to.
Yeah, he's really tough. I mean, not unbeatable the way that some, fights are. Oblivion. But I mean, Oblivion is beatable. I've done it on stream before. It's doable, but it's very, very, very difficult. And, some of the people who are like, oh, I can beat him with my hands tied behind my back. I'm like, okay, great. Then that means you're just playing the game way too much.
And or forgetting the 8 billion rules or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, Oblivion was fine. Like, I'm glad I got it, and I enjoyed playing it. I've only played it, like, 3 times, and I've won, like, 1 of them.
Yeah, I've played it. Go ahead.
It's such a slog that I don't want to, like, I don't ever, like, really want to keep coming out, because I'm like, there's just too much going on.
Well, so how much time does one budget for an 8 wow? How much time does one budget for an Oblivion game?
Goodness, I've had like most of mine end up going for like 5 hours.
Right, and so in a 5-hour time slot, if you're looking to play a board game, right? I can think of at least 3 games, 2 of them Arkham Horror Files, that I would rather play in a 5-hour period, and it's not because I think Oblivion is a bad scenario. It's not. I just don't see Sentinels of the Multiverse as an Arkham Horror length game.
Yeah.
Even first edition. I mean, we've played a ton of Arkham first edition at this point. We know that game was designed to go long.
Yeah.
2 hours at least. And I don't know, I think Sentinels is at its heart, at its best, it's a 2-hour game.
Yeah.
2-hour maximum game. Sure, sorry. So I don't want to be budgeting that amount of time for a game that I'm used to taking up to 2 hours, no more. So, I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing for me is, like, I play Sentinels a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Most of the people that I, like, choose to play with, like, do not play it like I do and do not have as firm of a grasp of the rules. And that's definitely not something to throw on them. Like, I feel bad about this, but the first time I did do Oblivion, I played it with, like, 2 people who had never played Sentinels before.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
But, I mean, they both still enjoy it and still love coming back to playing some of the normal ones, but yeah, like, it was rough.
Well, you got lucky then.
Yeah. And we managed to win. That was, like, the one time that I'd, beaten him.
Wow.
And yeah, and they enjoyed it, but yeah, it's a slog.
I mean, I have it in the box down at my feet, but like it's come out never. My copy has never come. Granted, most of my copies of Sentinels have never come out. Because we're either demoing it at conventions. If I'm playing it digitally, demoing it at conventions, or playing it at someone else's house who already has the game.
Yeah. Now, I haven't done it digitally since it got released on Handelabra.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always curious as to how much, like, them handling and automating it would make it easier.
It does make it a lot easier. I can play an Oblivion game in a 2-hour stream. And often get to, like, a Baron Blade speedrun or something at the end. You know, we have the store copy, and you know we have the copy that's in my camping gear. That are just base game. You know, no bells and whistles.
You've got Fnatic, and that's all enough.
I mean, for me, it's Tempest, but yeah.
I know.
So is Fnatic your favorite?
She is, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because you did the mini of her a little while back.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty common knowledge at this point. Setback is my boy. Mm-hmm. But in terms of when it actually comes down to playing the game, Writhe or Tempest or some of those types of characters are the ones that I gravitate toward. There's just a little bit more depth there. Now this coat that I'm putting down is very rough because it's just yellowifying everything. And it's very difficult to get yellow to show up over a black undercoat.
Oh, you primed black?
I always prime. I mean, anything from Batman or anything with grimdark undertones, I prime black. I did recently pick up a can of white primer because I've got the Marvel minis coming. Those make more sense to prime white. I am probably going to break up the Batman monotony with Crisis Protocol at some point and just do a couple of those here and there. Still heroes, still the same sort of style, but just a different take on it. And I've also 3D printed those gate markers.
Yeah, they look great.
I'm gonna do those on stream. I don't know if I'll do those on stream, but because those will take like 2 seconds. I'm gonna do them with contrast paint, so it's just really down and dirty, quick and clean. Chairman just flipped and immediately prison break.
Ooh, that's no fun.
Yeah, that's been in the chat for a while. I just kind of got around to processing it. Yesterday when we were playing Arkham, Blink was trying to convince me to turn on text-to-speech. I'm like, dude, if I do that, I will get so hella distracted. So I did talk to my boss today about shaking up the minis that I've got on display at the store. Mm-hmm. The problem is I don't have a good way to, like, the ones that are there because I play with them. Like, I used to play with them at the store, and that's where I wanted them. Now I don't do that, but I don't have a place at home to put them.
Ah.
But I think it does make sense for me to display some of the minis that we do on stream. Luckily, incidental AoE blew up an informant before. Nice! What's your team loadout, Kirk? More eloquently, who do you have? A whole bunch. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay.
A whole bunch of custom characters.
Ah. Yeah, speaking of custom characters, like I've never done a lot of homebrewing or anything else like that.
Yeah, that's not my jam.
But I've been enjoying working on some of the TMNT stuff.
Me too. Like it's been really fun, and that system is so wide open to it. And part of that is we're not attached to it the way we don't work for them the way we do for Greater Than Games.
Yeah. And,
so there's a little more freedom.
Yeah, that Lara Croft was like the first thing I've ever really done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually pretty pleased with how well she turned out.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how Zero's turning out. I mean, I guess it was pretty inevitable that the first character that I was going to work really hard on. Obviously, I've done some editing and stuff with you guys, but the first character that is like mine is Mega Man Zero. I want to start doing the cogs. I want to start doing Gears of War because I have minis for them.
So, Pete, the kind of head creator guy for TMNT, at least the AEGS system. I've been discussing some of the homebrewing stuff with him. He put me he essentially started like a small homebrewing group. Nice. With several of our other playtesters and other people that do homebrewing.
Yeah.
And they've had good input. They thought that the Lara Croft was pretty solid as is. So I was pretty proud about that. But one of them shared with me they did essentially a full-blown Mega Man X expansion.
Oh my god.
So they have a set with Mega Man X, and I think they had Zero, Axel, and 3 other characters pretty much made.
Oh.
With new mechanics and stuff for essentially getting your weapon upgrades. You pick up upgrades during scenarios that would let you use different powers. And as you defeat minions, you get charges that you can use to boost it. So I liked how Adam's 8 skills.
Yeah.
The skill cards were the boss, the robot masters.
Yep. The Mavericks, yeah.
Yeah, I guess Mavericks and X. I was looking through the one and I was like, man, I need to look at both of these and kind of compare the two.
Yeah. How many prison breaks are in the chairman's deck? Oh my god, I have no idea. That's a Lou Dolphin question.
I thought it was only 2.
I think there's 2, yeah. It's not like forced deployment.
Ooh. But the same chat.
Oh, hey, RPD.
Homebrewing TMNT they just shared earlier today the full-blown character and stuff for A-Stuck, which looked great and fun.
All right, time to drop the brush size. So I ran into one of my old high school classmates today at the store.
Yeah?
That was very, unexpected. He was buying some Warhammer stuff. As one does. And it was interesting to see, how the same amount of time kind of how 2 different people can have wildly different perspectives on the same amount of time. After we were done yesterday, Trevor and I recorded another podcasty thing. That went well. I cannot wait to share what that is and, you know, what we're doing with everybody, because it's going to be super cool. I'm very, very proud of it. Oh, God. What's wrong with this brush? I mean, you know what we're doing, but...
Yeah, I do, but yeah.
Viewers, unfortunately, I can't share that yet. Alright, I need to look at this. Okay, it's like a stormtrooper. I'm trying to figure out what caused a hazmat. Why would somebody be wearing a hazmat suit and wielding a gun? That just doesn't seem...
You work for Joker?
I suppose.
Yeah, other than that, like I can't really think of a legit reason.
Or Scarecrow.
Yeah, that too.
Captain Kirk watched me do some pretty crazy Scarecrow stuff in Arkham Asylum the other day. God, that game is so good.
Yes.
Delusions that the padding of the suit will absorb the recoil and thus make you a better shot. Dark delusions. Held by those darkly dreaming. And suddenly I've just thought of another channel point reward that I could do. That would be very fun. Random Lovecraft reading. In which I open to a random page in the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft and read it aloud on camera. That would be kind of fun. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? Is that something I should add? Or should I just have Chamali program that into a bot? Because that's also doable. Alright, one has been yellowed. He's base coded. No, he hasn't. I lied. I'm wrong. Gosh darn it. I'm ditching the paint handle for a second.
please.
There we go. That's a little better. Next. Boy, I'm going to be so happy when I can get into individual characters. And it's coming very soon. I'm just so sick of mass production. So I had some new to the painting hobby players come in today.
Yeah.
I got to sort of talk their ears off about, you know, how the Citadel color system works and
it's all named stupid.
And how everything's named stupid. They were very excited, very very kind couple. Kind of customers that make you know, make me happy to work at a comic book store and like interacting with people. They were asking all the right questions. They bought they were starting D&D, right? And you know, how honestly, RPD, I mentioned it, and they, you know, it was just kind of water under the bridge. They understood. I explained that the names are all taken from the world of Warhammer, and they're stupid, and it's fine. You just kind of go with it. It's significantly more about the shade of color that you're looking to achieve than about how you achieve it. And obviously, so, like, I told them, you know, the first big level up is discovering what Null and Oil does. And then after that, you can kind of get a little bit more specific. But realistically, you know, if you're just painting D&D minis, just use Null and Oil. It's fine. It'll get the job done. And then, you know, when you come back and start doing flesh colors and stuff like that, then you can start picking up the Reikland flesh shades and the, you know, things of that nature. But it was, you know, all hail Null and Oil. RPD, I love that you've turned that into a thing. You're just doing that with channel points, right? That's how that works? Who knew Twitch's built-in emote mods could actually do something for someone? I know, right? And here, like, Adam and I were talking about getting rid of the Lambert mayonnaise. Yep, 900 points for 24 hours of mayonnaise. Oh, Broody, do you have Do Not Disturb on Discord?
On Discord, yes.
Okay.
There I'll go. That was Facebook. I had it open when I shared the link, and
Oh, gotcha.
did not close Facebook.
Yeah.
I partially remembered. I did, in fact, do not disturb Discord.
Learning and growing. So I've got my first, I'm teaching my first guitar class on Friday.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. It's two of my students, two of my regular, classroom students. And they expressed interest, and their parents are both teachers at the building, so, I was like, as long as your parents are willing to stay late, or you have a ride home, or whatever it is, I will happily teach you guitar after school. And that's so on the weekends that we don't have Arkham, that's what I'm going to be doing. Oh no!
What?
Captain Kirk! There's 4 cards left in the deck, and Chairman still has a prison break. That's real bad.
Have you flipped them yet?
Yes.
Okay. You know, one of the very satisfying things with Chairman?
Is?
If you're playing with Visionary...
Oh my
and
god,
you have,
right?
like, a suggestion right off the bat, and you'd be like, okay, I'll take some damage, but your entire deck's going back in there. No more goons, no more nothing.
Yeah. I'm expecting this to also boil down to love, null, and oil, and everything's named stupid. Oh my god, so much yellow.
And look on the bright side of your yellow, I'm having to deal with her white.
Oh, gross. Which means you've got nasty Korax white or whatever.
Yeah, Ceramite.
Yeah. We still haven't gotten any new Ceramite white in. Oh, by the way, I did look into that Luke Skywalker model for you. The boss has it on his desk right now, which generally means he's hoarding it. So I will, next time I actually see him in person, I'll ask him about it.
Okay. Well, thank you for looking into it.
Of course. Truth told, I was going to buy it for myself until you expressed interest in it. I'm like, okay, no, you actually play the game. It makes more sense for you to have it. And that is a kind gesture. It was good karma for me,
Yeah.
And I completely forgot to get Adam's Best of Donatello comic that I promised him. Oh well, it's not going anywhere. It's in my folder. One and 4. I believe, Captain Kirk, I believe! I have faith. And this time Broody can't say no, she's over there. And I can't tell him to go to bed.
Yep.
Boy, Blink was on fire yesterday. With the puns. Environment is triggering things. Maybe we have this. Go get him! Which environment is it, Kirk? Oh, did you say Insula Primalis? No. Someone else did.
Yeah, if you want a real fun game, do Chairman in Rook City.
I've won that all of once.
Yeah.
And it was because I went completely out of my way to deal with environment mitigation. Like, I don't even remember what hero I chose, but I was just like, no, it might have been Visionary. I was just like, no, I'm just not letting the environment play cards.
Adhesive grenade everywhere.
Yeah. I think that might have been what it was. Just recurring adhesive foam grenade. Yes, I have. That's what I said. And no, oh boy, Rook City is mine. So one of the things, RPD, that we had to come to terms with when we started streaming for Handelabra was we needed to show off new content as soon as it was available. So yeah, a lot of those challenges, like Dolphin's done them, but the rest of us have not. I don't, and like, you know, I started playing the weekly one-shots, and then that didn't happen because it just wasn't, like, I don't have time to play that game off stream. And especially now that I'm trying to play a jillion other things for This Is Difficult. And just for myself. Okay, hold on, I messed up something. No, I haven't. Okay. Nice! Way to go, Kirk! Thunderous applause for Captain Kirk. Supply and demand benchmark. I don't even know what the challenge was for that. Okay. Oh yeah, I would have hated that. I don't like vengeance mode. It overwhelms me with information.
I do not like it either.
Mad Bomber Blade, go get him. Speed run. Speed run.
So what's the fastest you've beaten Baron Blade?
4 minutes something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was digitally.
Oh yeah, of course.
What's
Fastest...
like in terms of like the least amount of turns and stuff?
2.
Okay. Yeah, I managed to pull that off on a demo at Gen Con last time we were there. Like, yeah. So with the standard setup on Insula Primalis, like Haka, Raw, Fnatic.
Yeah.
And I was like guiding the people through it, and they managed to beat him like on the second turn.
Yeah.
It was insane.
The time 2 or 3 PAX East ago. It was the year that we don't talk about. You know, Maggie's Little Nightmare.
Oh, that. Yeah.
You want to submit me for GDQ? Sentinels of the Multiverse. Oh my god. That'd be such a freaking riot. Anyway, we had set up everything, and Christopher didn't have a meeting for a little while. So he and Matt Kroll came up to the table where Doug and Alex and I were standing. And we were just doing our, morning, we're tired, we're standing around, whatever sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Christopher just starts manipulating the cards on the table. And then Matt and I start manipulating the cards on the table. And then, people start getting excited, and Christopher starts making plays and starts a stopwatch. And so that was our first Baron Blade speedrun. It was myself, Christopher, and Matt as, I want to say, Ra, Fnatic, and Tempest, or something like that. And our goal, of course, was to win before the exhibit hall opened up.
And did you?
Oh, yeah, of course. It was not not without tension. Let's put it that way. I don't know how many games of anything you've played with Matt Kroll, but he has very strong opinions about things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do something that's not sort of in line with his thinking, he has a tendency to talk about it at length whether you want him to or not. And I made a play that, to myself and Christopher, made perfect sense. And to Matt did not. And I'll never forget Doug looking at the stopwatch and going, "Matt, shut up!" This is a really stupid model, and I may actually need to get my knife out and do surgery to it. There's a bit like where the strap of the gun goes sort of taut over his shoulder.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of plastic there above his arm. Ugh, this is terrible. I'm gonna actually have to do surgery here. Oh boy. I'll reach behind the curtain and get the X-Acto knife in just a minute. It'll come out fine, but I didn't even notice it until just now.
Those body parts are so tiny. Like getting the brown of the stick of her mallet around her hands.
Yeah. What's a damage care? We don't need those to beat Mad Bomber Blade, right? No, definitely not.
You don't need what?
A damage dealing character.
Nah, you're fine.
You'll be fine. I'm sure it'll all work out. A little bit.
Oop, wait, still need that color.
Unlicensed plastic surgeon. Oh my god, because I'm... Go to bed, RPD! This is plastic meatball surgery. It's not like I'm about to attempt surgery on Catherine Ryan.
Because let's say I've got Carly almost done. When I get the right colors out, I'll need to like put in her mask and I need to do some highlights on it. So I'm working on the base right now.
Yeah.
For like large wood planks.
Yeah, not unlike the Gotrek Ernison model I did a couple weeks ago. With large, cool things on the base that take frickin' forever. Alright, it's meatball surgery time. Let's see how well I can do. A scalpel. Oh god, I can't reach it. Oh jeez. That's not good.
Right?
Yeah, the green screen's just falling down.
Ah.
Give me a moment.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain?
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn off the face cam for a second, if I can find it. There it is. Alright. I swear I'm not doing anything dangerous. What's tremendously frustrating, too, is I just rehung this. Like, minutes before we went live. There it is. How do I find up into the window setting? Alright, I think that worked. I'm going to sort of maneuver myself back into my desk here. See what happens. Face cam on. Yes. Okay, it's working. Everything's fine. Everything's happy. We're good. The green screen's back up. I can perform meatball surgery unimpeded over here. So the question is, and I'll have to do this without the paint handle because I will zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how thick this plastic is or how, brittle it's going to be. I may actually have to get a drill out. Well, maybe not. I can't tell. Because as we've seen on the show before, this plastic is not particularly, high quality. Oh, cheapers. Yeah, I think I've already broke it.
Ooh, no bueno.
Yep, definitely did.
Party foul.
Dang it. Do I have my drill? Hope so. I can rescue this, but... only if I have the parts. I think it's in the basement. Well, just once, I wish that a miniatures company would, have painters in mind when they made these.
But that would be too easy.
Right? So I may have to finish. I may just have to do some finishing touches with these off camera, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without my drill. That's really unfortunate. Man, the money I dropped on this set is really disappointing me, because it was definitely not worth it.
Yeah, I haven't even like I've opened mine, like haven't played it all and haven't like really looked at the minis much.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is going on with this brush today? Of course, now I don't know what I've done with my paint handle.
You put it down?
Yeah, it's probably rolled onto the floor somewhere. Alright. Well, lessons learned. Not going to be able to fix that problem. At least not immediately. Oh, here's my paint handle. So what's next? I guess a reference photo would help. And I can get one that way. So, internet. We go to the internet.
Consult the interwebs. The keeper of all knowledge.
Okay, that's what I thought. It does look like I was not the only one frustrated by the sculpt here. It's all over BGG. Complaints about it. Alright, cool. So, I guess that brings us to... Are hazmat respirators... Would you use Ye Olde Leadbelcher for that?
I don't know. I would be inclined to end up using like just a plain black.
Yeah, I think maybe like a little around the like edges, but the rest of it's just black. I think you're right. Okay. Oh dear. So we're going to move on to the gray on the base real fast, because that doesn't take long. What black sorceries are you pulling out of the dark well of the interwebs? All of the black sorceries. Come on, RPD. Keep up, man.
Hammer time.
Doom, doom, doom.
Cortana, no, I did not say anything to you.
What?
I said hammer time, and then Cortana opened up and was like, let me look up stuff for you.
Oh my god. That's certainly different. Oh, Jesus. Marvel is the paint isn't sticking to the base because the brush is wet, apparently. So I assume by now you've watched the new WandaVision?
I have not seen any of WandaVision.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. They dropped an interesting twist yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it, obviously. That's not appropriate. But I'm interested to see where they go from here. That's, I guess, all I'll say on the topic. I did finish Welcome Back, Kotter this week.
Yeah?
Boy, that 4th season is rough.
I've never seen like any of it, so...
Well, two of the main characters leave the show in the 4th season, and they don't bother to replace them. Oh, jeez. Man, I'm getting sloppy tonight. Glad I chose to do these low-impact models. Dude, no, RPD, you are not alone there. I wanted them to lean into it way harder than they did. Like, for real, man. I am a huge fan of things like Dick Van Dyke and the Dick Van Dyke Show. And I really wanted more of that. I am glad they chose to do it as a series, though, and not a movie. I don't think it works as a movie. Did I see that there was a release date dropped for the Snyder Cut?
March 18th.
Right on.
I'm very excited about that.
I am, as ever, indifferent. I think I've just seen so many bad things out of the DCEU that I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
I have enjoyed pretty much all of the DCEU. Although I can understand it not being everyone's cup of tea kind of thing.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and it makes me feel like I'm missing something, and then I go back and try and watch it. I'm like, no, I just don't like this. And it's not that. I think when I was in film school, the Christopher Nolan movies were coming. The Batman Christopher Nolan movies were coming out.
Yep.
And so, because those two things ran in parallel with each other, my mind got fixated on, okay, this is what a gritty superhero movie should be. I also have a fundamental problem with things like Batman holding a gun.
Okay.
But I can, like, whatever, I can put that aside, you know?
Yeah.
I firmly believe that Batman should not hold a gun, but I also believe that there are situations, Final Crisis, where he kind of has to, for MacGuffin reasons most of the time. And so, yeah, that's fine. And like, I'm not going to be bothered by it, but I don't know. I just like,
I will say this now.
Go on.
Zack Snyder has a track record of movies, namely Watchmen, Sucker Punch, and 300 that had heavy studio interference,
Yes.
much like Justice League,
Yeah.
and everyone panned essentially the theatrical release.
And I
Well,
freaking love Watchmen. Like, I absolutely adore that movie.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about on Discord today, I really like Sucker Punch. Movies,
I love Sucker Punch.
It's a beautiful. Adam put it perfectly. It's a beautiful disaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a lot of the same ways that The Room is, you know. But they're just such gorgeous segments in that movie. If you take it as just like a clip show, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, if the best thing that could have happened to that movie would be like a Dr. Horrible style release.
Just on the internet?
Yeah, release it in chunks on the internet. Like, what a cool YouTube series that would have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like all of those movies, while the theatrical gets panned, like his Snyder cut is usually very, very well received.
Yeah.
Like when he gets a chance to like do his vision with less studio interference, which all of these are from Warner Brothers. You
Yep.
think they would have learned their lesson by this point in time?
Well, you'd think so, but
Like, yeah, like he has at least a good track record going in to Justice League.
yeah. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say about it. You know, I don't have HBO Max or whatever it is that you can watch it on, so I'm probably not going to watch it myself. But like, I'm very, very interested to see how it turns out. Very interested indeed. Why am I triggering learning and growing?
Because you can.
Oh, because Warner Brothers. Okay. Because Warner Brothers is refusing to learn and grow. Buggery. Oh god, Jeremy Handels discovered TikTok.
Not a good thing.
Jeremy discovering anything like that is often problematic for me. Did I ever tell you the that's not food, that's sustenance, those are different things story?
No.
So, you've been to PAX East with us a couple times, once or twice.
No, I've not been to East. I've only
Oh, have you not been to
East?
East? Okay, so at PAX East, this is kind of a uniquely PAX East thing. Go to bed, RPD. The exhibitors are treated to a, like, they call it a mixer. I guess that's the right term for it. It's like an excuse for us to hang out and drink and eat little, like, snacks and things. But they're pretty good. They're like pigs in a blanket and things like that. They're, you know, whatever. Right? And Paul, in his infinite wisdom, gamified it one year. Or, I mean, I guess more than 1 year. And everybody, he turned it into kind of like a Team Fortress 2 sort of thing, where the objective was to eat an entire dinner's worth of calories. so we didn't have to go out to dinner. And the way he did it was by assigning everybody a role. So me being small and wiry, I was a scout. My job was to figure out where the food is coming from and report back and get back to the group and like basically run recon. Jody, being more sort of willing and able to lift heavy objects, was a heavy. Jeremy was a soldier. Actually, Jeremy might have also been a scout. I don't know. And, you know, like, Christopher was, like, a distraction, because he's good at that. And those sorts of things. Well, and so what would happen is we would figure out where everything's coming from, spawn camp the food, and then, while people stood in line for drinks, and then we sort of ferried everything to one central table, that Jody picked up and moved to the ideal location. Jeremy got exactly half of that message. He got that his role was to figure out where the beer was coming from. Then he stood there and proceeded to get very, very drunk.
Okay.
Without eating any food, because he thought the table was coming to him. By the time we all reconvened, by the time Krista and I realized that Jeremy was not with us, he was absolutely 3 sheets to the wind, and Chris Kirkman found him barely standing at a table, asking us where we had been. And Chris, you know, has Jeremy lean on him and hobbles him back to the GTG booth, where Adam is talking animatedly with Alex. And Adam takes one look at Jeremy and goes, "Okay, we need to get some food in him, like, right now. Does anybody have like a granola bar or something?" And Jeremy falls into like the banner or whatever behind us and goes, "That's not food, that's sustenance. Those are different things." And Adam, like, I've never seen Adam jump into action like that. He springs into action and he goes, "Okay, we need to get a seat at the restaurant as quickly as possible. Zach and Krista, you're in charge of, like, making sure that Jeremy doesn't wander off. And Chris and I will go get us a table." And Chris and Adam did exactly that. Krista and I got Jeremy as far as the hotel that's attached and with the restaurant in. And the wait was like 30 minutes or something like that. And so Adam goes, "Okay, that's fine. He'll last 30 minutes. He'll be okay." So we sit down on like this statue piece outside. And Jeremy goes, "I want to take a walk." And he just wanders off. And Kirkman goes, "What are you doing? Where are you going? No, you can't do that." And ends up going to chase him. We sit down for our dinner. Halfway through dinner, here comes Jeremy back into the restaurant, still hobbling like a madman, followed by Alex, who had finished up his shift on the floor and was wondering where we all were. It was a very odd night.
Sounds like it. But at least you get a good story out of it.
Yeah. And, you know, that same year at Gen Con, was the first appearance of Crust. That's Krista's alter ego. Have I ever told you that story?
Mm-mm.
So every year at Gen Con, Handelabra goes, Team Handelabra goes out to the arcade bar, we go to, what's the name of that place that Greg's always lording over me? Kilroy's. That has the awesome breadsticks and the fairly inexpensive Long Islands. We have several Long Islands and then hobble our way to Tappers, which is an arcade bar. And it's a wonderful place. If you haven't been, highly recommend. Very fun. And so it's usually, by the time we get to Tappers, it's usually like Russ and me and Krista and Alex, and that's about it. And that year, Russ was not able to join us, so it was just myself, Krista, and Alex. And we got so drunk and on those Long Islands, and we didn't really realize it. It didn't really hit us until we were actually walking back to the hotel. And we realized we hadn't eaten anything. We forgot to eat when we were at Kilroy's. And by the time we were walking home, everything was closed. Except White Castle.
Ooh.
That was a mistake. I've never had to poo quite so bad in my life. But Krista attempted to text Jeremy, because that was the year we did the bottom of the ninth costumes.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote the following. Dear Jeremy, hi. It's me, Crust. Need to know what time for to do GTG cosplay. Craig didn't know, period. Answer, period. The answer, comma, space. Thanks in advance. No punctuation.
Okay.
And Jeremy wrote back, I hope you made it home safely in whatever state you're in. Cosplay is at 11. So every year now it's our goal to make Crust come back.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. Apparently, Tyler won't tell us what he read that night, but apparently some fairly choice texts were sent his way. That's Krista's husband. Or fiance. They were supposed to get married this past Halloween, and that didn't happen. Okay. All right, sinking time for these boys. Fairly straightforward bit of business. Which story are you not sure about there, Kirk? There's some two very strange stories. What is word? What is line? You're my future wife. We must trust each other. Oh my god, Kirk. Longest Mad Bomber blade ever. Oh my god. So I recognize that what I'm doing looks very orange, but it's actually a yellow ink.
What are you using?
Cassandora yellow.
Yes. Yeah, it is a very almost orangey looking.
When it goes on, it dries yellow. But I've also got a couple of yellow shades that I'm gonna put over the top of it too. It's amazing how much the inks just clean up the base coats. Like, base coats tend to be fairly sloppy in a lot of cases, but the ink just smooths it all out. Makes it look so nice. I'm not sure if that's the moisture or if that's just the art of gap filling, but we're looking good. Looking good, looking good.
Oh my goodness, there's so much going on in this scene.
The base scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's jumping off of this, like, clown face that is crashing through the floor of this thing, and there's, like, a old-timey, like, cartoon TNT blowing up detonator.
Weird.
And, like, sticks of dynamite everywhere, and, like, neon letters.
Huh.
Going fun. So I'm trying to, like, get everything done, and it's just, like, a mishmash of everything.
Yeah, that's, seems a little excessive if you ask me.
Yeah, that has been a complaint with these scenic bases from 3rd edition. Because a lot of people are just like, this all seems a bit much.
RPD asks, is there also a birthday cake on that base?
No, there should be, though.
All bases should have birthday cakes. What a psych that would be if someone showed up for a fantasy or Age of Sigmar game with just all dwarfs with birthday cake bases. All, fully painted to the nines and, whatever. I would concede. I might even stop playing at that point. Anyone who does anything is added to the Book of Grudges for upsetting a birthday. Nice callback to the Book of Grudges, RPD. Dang, sir. The Damas Kron. Well, after he killed 2 of us and dropped me to 3, he played a backlash field. I think you've lost there. I think you're just dead here, Kirk.
Mad Baron Blade still?
Yeah. I think they tried to do it without an aggressive team. And that just went badly wrong. There you go. I like that. Oh, jeepers. I've missed a spot with Leadbelcher. And it's like the tiniest spot, too, which really frustrates me. Hooray for critical multiplier! Alright. I guess we're up to Earthshade here. Somehow or another... RPD! You're not going to believe this. There is no Nuln Oil on these models. Oh, yeah. Sometimes when I'm speedrunning, I'll make a mistake that kills me. But I guess it's kind of expected in speedrunning. Yeah, I feel that, man. Are y'all playing digitally, or are you at the tabletop? Oh, nice. Oh, TTS, okay. I don't know if you saw it, Kirk, but Handelabra is going to do support, or they're working on support for the Cauldron and other homebrew mods in the Sentinels app. It sucks that because I'm so close to some of the material, I can't look at the Cauldron. Like, I try really hard to hold myself to the same standard that Christopher and Adam hold themselves to. Nice. Oh, sick. Love a good Aeneid fight. Probably my favorite enemy deck, villain deck. Oh, Apostate. RPD will tell you, Apostate is my nemesis.
Ooh, yeah. He's rough. I enjoy him, but
I love fighting him. Yeah, for real. But
he can be tough.
He can be. Very swingy deck. Alright, those boys need to dry a bit, so I guess...
So running.
Sure. Let's pop some carnivorous plants up here on the Deadline's awful fun too.
Deadline is one of those that, depending on what cards come out, like you can beat them really quick or beat them really long.
Yeah, for sure. So the new Foo Fighters record dropped yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It is straight fire. It's so good. One of my buddies and I have been texting back and forth the last couple of days, gushing about it.
Foo Fighters is like a band that I have not heard a lot from, but I've liked what I've heard.
Yeah, that's kind of how I started with it. Is like, I enjoyed a few songs, and I was like, all right, this is cool. And then John was like, he's a huge fan, and just the more I talked to him, the more I saw how passionate he was, and so I started digging into it, and I'm like, oh my god, This is just an incredible, talented group. I just started listening more and more, and then actually, I have props for this. For my birthday a few years ago, John picked up this one for me, Sonic Highways, and then I just started collecting, because that's how I do. Love collecting vinyl. I love listening to it. And we went to see the Foo Fighters a couple years ago at Fenway, and oh my god, what a show. What a show. Oh, did he? Yeah, that one's cool. So what I'm doing in these leaves is just a little bit of a purple tint that will hopefully show through the green that I'm going to put over them. And I think it'll make it just look a little bit more like a plant of the particular style that Ivy seems to gravitate towards. Obviously, carnivorous plants, very much a poison ivy thing. All right, green now. I'm thinking not Caliban green. Not Wallflower. Is it Caliban green? Maybe it is Caliban green. No, that's too bright. Okay. I'm gonna go with Wallflesh, but I'm gonna accent it with what?
Wog.
Wah! Got some traders around. I'm also going to use some Death Guard green. I probably will use some Caliban green in some capacity, but not immediately. We're going to do it. This one's going to end up being a lot of dry brushing, a lot of highlighting, and the inks will do a lot of work here. What's going on here? Death Guard, you've really got traders. Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's better. There's some remainant purple in the brush. I'm not very happy about that. But we seem to have fixed that problem. There we go. I'm really fond of that leaf there. That worked out kind of exactly as I was hoping.
color turned out great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did the Wraithbone for the teeth inside the clown face,
Yeah.
just to give it some contrast.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good.
Ivy plant. Ivy plants are great.
Yeah. I'm having fun with it.
Be a much smaller brush about what I'm about to do. Sorry. I had my Star Wars group over, and they were admiring all of the various ivy plants I've got on my miniatures shelves over there.
Well, it's such a wide open thing. Like I said, I'm just throwing down a little bit of green, and I'm going to patch it up with a couple of different shades afterward too. Shades of green base coat. And a lot of what's going to happen here is just like highlighting and inking that's going to bring these out to completion. And they do look really good just right out of the box with two colors on. There we go. I don't know if you saw what I did, but I took just like a purple stripe up the middle, and then I'm just base coating with green around the edges to leave that purple stripe mostly intact.
Yep. I did something similar when I did a lot of mine.
Yeah. And like it doesn't have to be there, but it's just kind of cool. So if I happen to paint over the whole thing, it's water under the bridge or over the dam or wherever you like it. All told, this is a pretty relaxing model to paint. All right, we'll get the rest of it with a different color. My hazmat boys are almost ready to come back to the forefront here. So we'll get them back up in a second. Music, come back. Spooky music. It's Mega Man music. Specifically like X6 or something like that. Spooky Mega Man music, yeah. There we go. Yes. Hall of Blood prevents him from healing. Or prevents Operative from healing, rather.
And letting normal oil do the work here on the ruffles of her wrists and...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Trying to explain, like, verbally how Nuln Oil works is not easy. Because it's hard to visualize when you're just starting out. Especially when the customer in question is trying to paint skeletons.
There's not a lot to go on there.
No. I was like, well, you know, it's really the eyes and stuff like that that's gonna, you know, be improved by this sort of shenanigans. Sure, it's easy. You pour it all over things, then witchcraft happens, and everything's better. The model looks better. That was a terrible Jeremy Clarkson impression, but you get the idea. Let me get some of this Death Guard green down. I love that I can just be sort of... Oh. I'm going to put... If everybody loved putting Death Guard green down on the plants, the world would be a better place to live in. And it's just going to go here. And maybe a little here. And just kind of spread it around. Haha. Just sort of everywhere. You go everywhere, Mark. This paint get everywhere. It's messy. Oh yeah. That's looking gnarly, yo. Look at this.
Nice.
I'm really loving it. Just a little application of the Death Guard green over some of the parts that I missed before. And that's before inking and dry brushing too, like... The thing about plants is they're not like uniform in that way, so they can you can kind of just go nuts. Cool. Good there. The first one came out a little bit better, but that's all right. Oh dear. I should probably rinse this brush. It's getting pretty gnarly. So the curing station for my resin printer came in.
Yeah? Is it working well?
I have not tried it yet. I'm such a klutz that, like, I'm almost worried to turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
And have I considered printing out Bunker? Considered? Yes. And one of the things that, actually, I think I texted you midweek, I said, you know, you and I both have access to, and you have, both major varieties of 3D printer, both resin and PLA.
Yeah.
And there are definitely merits to both. Like, I'm not going to waste resin printing player aids for Arkham Horror, which is what I spent most of this week doing. Now that I've got the school 3D printer working again. But a high quality miniature, that's something I'm going to print on the resin printer.
Yeah.
All right. Boy, these guys are looking dope. I'm loving them. I think I'm gonna wait to hit to do the bases. Yeah, I'm very excited about the Freedom 5 game minis. They're gonna be great. I have some ideas for how I want to finish these minis. I think I want to do like some. I mean, I do have to figure out what the price point on that is going to be, Kirk. I mean, obviously you're going to get a huge break for all the subs you've gifted and stuff, but I'll work with you on it. It'll be great. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Buggery.
Joke.
Oh, nice.
That is after washes and stuff are done.
Yeah. So here's the Hazmat Boys having dried. Move on to a little bit of this brand new bright yellow that I picked up. Uriel yellow. It does sound Eldar, yeah. I pretty sure, yeah. Get in there. So I'm gonna do a lot like I did last week with the. What did I even paint last week? What was I painting last week? You weren't here. Oh, the prisoner boys. I don't want a small layer, I want a medium layer. Medium layer, please! There it is. Might be. I'm not very up on the 40k lore, so. Oh, buggery. This is brush being garbage today. Who you got next, Broody?
I just pulled up Katana because she was sitting right next to me.
Nice. And for the second time in as many days, we've got someone go find Paul. Blast.
thought I hadn't listened to that at least. Oh, use the new one.
There we go. Yeah, that's right. Yriel. Man, this Uriel Yellow is exemplifying how the Citadel paint system works. Oh my goodness. It's flawless over here. Corsair Prince, greatest Elder Admiral. Yeah, that's fair. All right, right on. Welcome to Watching Paint Dry, the show where we look up 40k lore bits that we've forgotten over the years.
I was I've never played 40k, so I like no lore learned.
Me either. I just pick up, like, working at the store, people... Nerds are weird, man. They insist on telling you things you don't care about.
Yeah. As a nerd who definitely does that all the time.
Me too, yeah. And I also enjoy listening to things that I would otherwise know nothing about. You know, Kirk, it's really a testament to your character that, like, I know, having most likely never memorably interacted with you in person, I can tell very quickly by the way you're typing and the way that you present yourself, how you're feeling and how you're interacting with a given situation. Like, okay, perfect, yeah. Where there are other people who I've met in person and for some reason still have a very hard time reading. I'll be honest, there was a time where Adam fell into that category. He does not anymore. He's now a good friend, but... No, don't be sorry. I like that. We really appreciate that. Because not very many people do chat on this channel, and you and RPD really make it so much easier. I've told RPD this a zillion times, but like I'm telling you too, you two make it so much easier for us to go live and to have someone to, you know, interact with, and like we could not do this without you guys. It's really amazing.
Because Lord knows when I like get focused and then just like focus and don't talk.
Yeah.
Interact. Like I hyper focus on things and it like it just is.
Well, it breaks it up too. Like I think we do a better job because we're being entertaining. you know, or we're trying to be entertaining. Hopefully we are. Okay, that's looking much better. And like inside baseball, you know, Broody and I occasionally come to the show with something to talk about. Most of the time we don't. And you all provide us with things to banter about. I definitely have more experience, you know, making things up off the top of my head than Broody does. But that's just because I do this more often. I guess what I'm saying, Captain Kirk, is thank you so much for always being here for us. We really do appreciate it.
I'm kind of curious as to how the heck she's putting her arm in this pose. So it's like she's got the sword and it's resting over her, like, her left arm. I'm like, how are you bending your hand to hold that sword over your arm like that? Because both hands are in the grip.
Yeah, that doesn't... At the very least, that's got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kirk's asking for a close-up on that, Broody.
No, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's super weird. That's Katana.
Yeah. So yeah, like this hand goes to this arm while the sword's going this direction. So...
Yeah, that makes zero sense.
Yeah.
She is a member of Suicide Squad, if I'm not mistaken.
She is, yeah.
And she's in Arrow.
She is in Arrow. Yeah, she's played by Devin Aoki.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and she was played by someone else in Suicide Squad.
That's right.
And I forget the actress for that one. And yeah, she's a frequent ally of Batman.
Yep. I have a couple of, at least one model of her too to do at some point.
And she showed up in Arrow because they did everything to make Arrow Batman.
Yeah, I mean literally.
So they just couldn't do...
They couldn't say the word Batman at the time. Now they can. Yeah, Suicide Squad sure was a movie that happened. Yes, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow. Arrow being the TV show.
Yeah, kind of the same reason Green Arrow showed up in Smallville was, but we can't do Batman, so...
So, Arrow! I mean, I'm not even gonna call that the next best thing. That was just a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What?
Captain Kirk says he has watched exactly 0 of the live-action DC shows.
Oh wow.
I have to make a very strong plug for Legends of Tomorrow. That show is fire. It's so good. Now, it wasn't always. In fact, at the beginning, it was hot garbage. Legends of Tomorrow it's a Flash spin-off, I guess. But it's basically like misfits and outcasts of the Arrowverse doing time shenanigans. It's like super heroic Doctor Who is the best way I can describe it. And John Constantine's in it.
He's gonna come into like season 4, right?
Correct. 3. He is easily the best part of it. And it is Matt Ryan Constantine from the Constantine TV show. Fair warning, season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow is kind of hot garbage. Season 2 is not much better. Season 3 is where it hits its stride and becomes a good show. Oh, nice. I like Constantine quite a lot, but it wasn't until Legends of Tomorrow that I really started to pay attention to him. But no, he's a bundle of fun. It's Legends of Tomorrow is very wacky. It's definitely got a completely different tone than the rest of the Arrowverse, which tends to be very, well, it's grimdark. And a lot of the shows jump the shark very quickly. Legends of Tomorrow jumps the shark and keeps right on rolling. They lean right into it. I mean, I don't know that I agree with that. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Batman was super grimdark, and that worked really well. Well, perhaps we're defining grimdark differently.
Yeah. Grimdark works for superheroes in the right context.
Yeah, exactly.
The unforgivable bit is not necessarily whether or not it's grimdark. For me, it's whether or not it makes the concept of, like, essentially, if you're a 5-year-old and you're like, man, I want to be Batman, and if it takes that and just like craps on it.
Yeah, that's very fair. And
it's like a lot of, like, Dark Knight Rises was like that. It'd be like, this is why it's really terrible to be Batman, because his body's all torn to pieces, and this is like, what kid comes out of that like, man, I want to be Batman?
Yeah, nobody.
And like, there are some issues, like MCU does this, is like, after watching a lot of the Iron Man, it's like, do I really, like, I want to be Iron Man after that? Like, no. Some of those are, it's just like the concept is just like, man, this is a poster boy for, like, nah, this is definitely not worth being.
Yeah, I feel ya. But I also feel like superhero movies can send the wrong message by being too lighthearted also. For example, Suicide Squad. All my students wanted to be Harley Quinn. And I'm like, no. No, you do not. Like, that's wildly inappropriate. You do not want to be Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the number of parents I had to tell, like, you gotta have have the talk with your kid. Like, that is not an appropriate character to be emulating.
And then Well, I mean, it doesn't help that DC's like super hardcore trying to push her
Right.
and turn her into like their version of Deadpool, like just wacky comedy and other stuff like that. It's like she's not been a good role model for a long, long time.
Yeah, and neither is Deadpool for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one kid. She was in first grade maybe when Suicide Squad came out, and she came in wearing a Daddy's Little Monster T-shirt, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I've started to lose a lot of respect for Harley Quinn as a character. Like,
yeah.
I can't like. I understand that she's like not a good role model and like obviously in an abusive relationship with the Joker.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah, I know. I know not anymore, but like when she started out, like that was the case. Although depending on the writer, like there were times when it's like Joker like actually cared about her, and other times where he's clearly just an abusive asshole.
Yeah.
Like it was swingy based on who was writing, essentially.
Right.
But when they started just hypersexualizing her, I was just like, nah.
This isn't cool.
I'm out.
Yeah. I spent many years, as you well know, working with Jimmy and Amanda at comic book tables, and I also I got some inside baseball information about like what they were trying to do with that character. So I was able to follow down that rabbit hole pretty solidly. I have all their trade paperbacks. I have Harley, an Amanda Connor Harley poster right next to me that they gave me 1 year. But again, a lot of their work got eaten up by the machine. You know? The machine that is DC Comics and Warner Brothers. And the stories that they were telling were definitely stories of redemption and effort and trying to be a better person. But with the acknowledgement that Harley's never going to be able to erase all those sins.
Mm-hmm.
And erase the trauma. I follow you, Kirk. And I do not disagree. I'm following you 100%. Yeah. That part is done. Time to wrench brush. What's next? Where did this go? Oh, this was new. This is gonna go there. Have I read Worm? No, I have not. I'm in the middle of some, like, long-term reading projects. I've got Sherlock Holmes and H.P. Lovecraft that I'm working through. Both of which I love to pieces. But it's... There's a lot of material there. Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna get the insides of their visors here. I definitely need a smaller brush for this job. Cap for that later. Decisions, Kirk. Yep, I think that works.
This is a fairly straightforward model.
Yeah.
Anyone with like a almost solid color jumpsuit is pretty.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to be running into that with some of the heroes too.
So I'll need to see how this like turns out after washing. But so most of the reference art I have for Katana, she is like her actual skin that's shown below like her mask.
Yeah.
Like, the mask is only like the top half of her face. Is usually extremely pale white.
Yeah.
Like almost to the point where it's like, is she really wearing a mask, or is that entire thing her face?
Right.
So I ended up going with, since she is a Japanese character.
Yep.
Obviously, I went with Wraithbone White again.
Sure.
I guess it's just Wraithbone. In hopes that it's sort of like off-whitey color is like it's pale enough, but also like still pulls off like the tannish, like East Asian color.
Yeah.
You can't really see too much of a difference between the white of her face and the white of the skin or the mask. Which I guess, according to the art, is a good place to be.
Yeah.
It's like there's a like I doubt if it's going to show up well on camera, but
we'll do the best we can. Per usual.
Yeah. Pop this jaw on her head.
Sorry. Continuing to look things up. Alright, well, I'm gonna dry brush these, and these will be done. These are very straightforward minis. Nice!
Ugh. Not focusing well.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd, but there you go. Boy, what are her legs doing, too? Right? Oh my god, look at her from the side.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Bizarre sculpting mold, blah blah blah. Where did I put? I think I might be ending up using the last of this gnome oil.
Uh-oh.
Her. And then I'll break into the new one that I bought. Like
There you go. Dry brush really bringing this model into focus, as you can see. Pleased with that. I'm going to do a final dry brush on the yellow too, but we're not there yet. Very nearly. So I talked about it last week when you weren't here, Broody. I watched the Great Escapists. That's Tory Belleci and Richard Hammond. I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't overwhelmed by it.
What is it?
It's called The Great Escapists. It's Tory Belleci from MythBusters and Richard Hammond from Top Gear.
Okay.
And like on paper, that sounds like something that I would be interested in, and I was. I had fun. I enjoyed it, but it was like oddly scripted, which is not something I'm used to out of those two. And neither one of them is a good actor. So the science content almost gets lost, which was unfortunate. But like, it's still fun. And I do recommend it.
So what is it like? What does it do? Like, what is it about?
Basically, they're stranded on a desert island. Or a tropical island. And they have the wreckage of a boat. And they have to just kind of build stuff out of it. To survive. But survive is a very loose term. Because they're building things like go-karts and, other shenanigans.
Yeah.
But no, it was enjoyable. Definitely wasn't what I would call a bad show. Just wasn't what I expected.
So I should actually be doing something.
Getting a little dry brush going.
Yep. One of the things I dislike about something like this, where there's tons of color,
Mm-hmm.
is like the dry brush covering like all of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, when do I hit other colors when I'm not meaning to, or
Yeah.
so it's like ends up more of the work is actually done with the layering and highlighting.
Yeah. Where I'm facing just exactly the opposite problem. The entire model is one color. So my layering and highlighting doesn't come through nearly as much as the dry brush. Flash gets yellow. Bright yellow! It's time for the good stuff.
So this is a decent combination.
Go on.
So for this brick on this like chimney or whatever the building here, it's not a lot. But I ended up doing Bugman's Glow as the base.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you throw in a smidge of the Nuln Oil into the cracks for to like get the definition,
Mm-hmm.
using the red dry brush, the Astaroth red,
Yeah.
it hits it and looks like a very solid.
Nice.
Very solid color combination to look like brick.
So Bugman's Glow is usually what I use for flesh color, or flesh base coat. But yeah, I've definitely done similar sorts of things. The other thing you could do, because bricks obviously come in multiple colors, you could do some use that Bugman's Glow, but dry brush it with a gray or a brown. I'm not saying, go out and do that. I'm just saying for our viewers who are wondering, yes, that is totally a viable thing. And if you are so inclined, do it. This whole time I didn't have my overhead light on. My paint station light. Oops. Guess that explains why I can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I definitely understand why you have like a specific dry brush for red.
Yeah, you just can't get it out. And that was definitely a level up learning and growing moment. And the problem is I didn't learn it very fast because I was doing Chaos Dwarf for so long, which all had a red dry brush.
Later.
Alright. I think these hazmat boys are just about all set. I do want to go back and touch up their bases, though. That seems like a logical decision. Problem with hazmat dudes is they barely look human. Hazmat boys are check. I'm gonna ink down the plants here. Yeah, that's fair, RPD. Oh, jeez. I need a separate dry brush for yellow. Nah, it'll come out. Eventually. Yeah, that one will be fine. Yeah, I think I can get away with the big brush here. Oh my gosh.
What's up?
Oh, these ivy plants. There's just so many roots and things that I thought I might have to go to a smaller brush, but I don't think that's going to be the case. After all. I got it, I got it. Just want to get these inked before we call it, you know?
Yeah. Alright. Get out of here, plant. Get one of your alien brothers.
Yeah, so I need Earth Shade, and I need Green Shade, and I need, I guess, the Crimson? Oh, here's Green Shade, although I might have a smaller bottle of it. That's orange, that's yellow, that's purple, what's this? Oh, there's my gloss Earth Shade. I was wondering where that got off to. Here's Crimson. A smaller bottle of Green Shade. Okay, cool. Phantasmagorical.
So what is the difference between like a normal wash and the glaze or the gloss ones or whatever?
So it makes things shiny. So like when I do Cthulhu, I want him to look kind of slimy. So I'm going to use the gloss shades. But when I do, you know, just a base, for example, I'm going to use the same shade, just regular.
Yeah.
And I will demonstrate what that looks like on stream when I do the Arkham gate stands. Alright, one plant done. Or for green, anyway. Still got to do the red and the brown. Don't get ahead of yourself, dummy. Man, I thought these ivy plants were going to be really dumb and boring, but they are really fun. I think part of that might be because it's a slightly bigger model.
Let's say I think I'm done with Harley Quinn.
Yeah! Nice job with the neon sign.
Yeah. I did white on the inside and the green on the bright green on the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
Highlights with the clown with the white over the face and the yellow and purple and stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you give me just a couple moments here, I will also be done. For the night. I do have some clever things I want to do with these, so I think I'll probably finish them on stream next week. It won't take very long, so I'll definitely have some other models to do as well, but I want to show some techniques that I've just thought up for making them look more organic. Realistically, these plants could probably just hit the table as is. Oh man, just slapped a bunch of it. Stop being bad at this. That's better. Serviceable anyway. Alright.
Nope, okay. Two. No, 3. Alright. Just a little bit of Earthshade and we're done here. Right, well. I think that will take care of that.
carnivorous plant. Not quite done yet. Still got to do the accents on the teeth. I want to speckle the leaves a little bit, but I do like the way they're turning out. Obviously, it'll look better when the ink is dry, but for now, that's where we're standing. The hazmat boys are done. That's what they look like.
Did a katana with a little bit of dry brush and some slight highlights.
Yeah, nice. How do you feel about these guys, Broody?
Oh, they look great.
Okay, cool. I think I'm pretty fond of them. Alright, so thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We will be back for more of this next week. This is Difficult is off tomorrow. That's my podcast because apparently there's a big football game or something. So I won't be doing that, but I will be back on the Handelabra channel for Tales from the Archive if you are so inclined to join me for that. And I will be back right here on this channel, definitely on Thursday for Zach Sucks at Games, and there may be a Zach Sucks at Games encore on Friday, depending on what time I get home from teaching my students guitar. So I can't guarantee that, but I might do that. We might also do something in Arkham because my wife's got to work randomly, and I'm gonna have time on my hands. So we'll see. Watch my Twitter for that. Twitter.com. My Twitter is DENONCZD. And yeah. Broody, where can people find you over the course of this week?
My Twitter is Broody Gambit. At Broody Gambit, I guess, would be the correct way to say that. That's pretty much the extent of where I'm on social media.
Right on. All right, everybody. Broody, it is always a pleasure hanging out with you, my dude. This is so much fun. I'm glad we get to do this.
I'm glad we get a chance to as well.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Night. Yuck. Sorry.